Sarah Bishop was flying high 2 months ago with a new job in the offing. But COVID-19 has seen her life plans crash. No job, no income, but there's still rent to pay.
We were at a pretty good spot. Like we were debt-free, we got our new place, we got our new car, we were ready to go. So, and then it's just like, oh, this is like a big step backwards.
Like tens of thousands of tenants across the country, Sarah is preparing for a difficult conversation with her landlady.
She said, we'll give you a chance, because I hadn't had much rental history. So she's like, we'll give you guys a chance. You seem like really good people. And yeah, I was like, don't worry, I won't let you down. My rent comes first, etc. And yeah, so, but I'm just hoping that people will be more understanding.
It's not only home renters that are struggling. Small businesses in prime city locations face annihilation.
I'm not making any money, so we have no money to pay for rent this month, next month, the month after. And that's really stressful, because I just don't know how I'm meant to keep accumulating this debt so rapidly.
Jackie Masaki employed 20 therapists at her sports massage practice prior to the COVID-19 shutdown. She says the government's JobKeeper payment is a lifeline for her employees and her business, but it's not enough.
You know, our doors are closed, we've been told to shut down, everyone's self-isolating at home, so we're not making any money. But on the other side, we're not in hibernation, because our commercial leases are still going. Landlords are still knocking on our door saying you've got to pay rent.
But many landlords are feeling the pinch as well, as they struggle to interpret the Prime Minister's call for a 6-month moratorium on evictions and for landlords and tenants to start talking.
To be honest, it's a mess, and it's been a bit of a free-for-all out there because of this. But having said that, we'd rather see the government actually get it right, because they'll only really get one shot at it.
Arlette and John Turpin are self-funded retirees with 6 rental properties. They're worried about their financial security. One tenant has left and another says he can no longer pay the full rent.
We have to talk, and he decided he will pay half. Just like that. I didn't say a word, and it's really very sad.
There's no ground rules, there's no framework at the moment. The moratorium on the eviction was great, and again we support that, but it was never meant to be a moratorium on not paying the rent.
This lack of framework is already having serious consequences, with the social media movement for a so-called rent strike and some real estate agents putting pressure on tenants to draw from their superannuation. The corporate regulator says this could be illegal, and the Real Estate Institute says it's improper.
That's just completely unacceptable, and the unfortunate thing about that is that it's those estate agents which give our entire industry across the country a bad name.
That a mandatory code will be legislated and regulated as is appropriate in each state and territory jurisdiction.
Last week, the federal government did provide some much-needed clarity with a code of conduct for commercial tenancies.
One of the most important things that the government had said was that landlords must not terminate leases. They cannot draw on bank guarantees or security deposits, and that landlords must reduce rent in proportion to the tenant's loss of turnover.
That's potentially good news for Jackie's sports massage business. Her landlord says they're negotiating a middle road with their tenants based on fairness and compromise. Jackie is trying to stay optimistic.
I am a bit relieved, because it is now really forcing landlords and tenants. We do have to come together and work together on this. And if our landlords do want tenants on the other side of this, when this is all over, it is in their best interest to look after us.
New South Wales has announced a relief plan for residential tenancies as well. But more details are expected to be released by federal and state governments soon.
We know that something's coming, and once we've got those ground rules, then everybody knows exactly what the playing field is.
It's just the worry of how difficult it's going to be, like once it's all finished. Once we can finally leave the house and go back into the world.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.